trapped on a ski lift, abandoned in the dead of winter, with no way down, predators hunting below, and no help coming. Childhood friends, Dan and Joe, and Dan's girlfriend Parker, go to a New England ski resort for the day. They don't want to pay full price for their ski lift tickets, so they get Parker to bribe the lift attendant, a guy named Jason, to let them on. While they're going up the mountain, the ski lift suddenly shuts down. Luckily, it starts moving again after a short time. They spend the whole afternoon on the slopes, where Parker falls down a lot because she doesn't know how to snowboard very well. By the evening, the guys really want to take one last ski run before heading home, but it's getting late and a storm is coming. Because of the bad weather, the ski resort decides to close everything down early. The friends talk to Jason, the attendant, and remind him about the bribe. They convince him to let them on the ski lift for one last trip up. By now, the resort is nearly empty. While they are still riding up the mountain, Jason gets called into his boss's office. His co-worker, Rifkin, takes over for him. He tells Rifkin that there are only 3 skiers left on the mountain and to shut the lift down after them. However, right after that, a different group of 3 skiers comes down to the bottom. Rifkin sees them, thinks they are the last 3, and shuts the ski lift power off completely. This leaves Dan, Joe, and Parker stuck in their chair, high up in the cold, dark air. At first, the friends are just annoyed, thinking it's just another mechanical problem with the lift. But a few minutes later, all the resort's lights go out, which truly frightens them. Night has fallen and a heavy snowstorm begins. After some time, a snowcat grooming vehicle approaches. Its driver, a man named Cody, comes close, and it looks like he might spot them. But at the very last moment, Cody gets a call on his radio and turns the vehicle around to head back. Many hours pass. The friends come to a terrible realization. No one is coming for them. They remember the resort is closed Monday through Friday, meaning they could be stranded until Friday, 5 days away. In a moment of carelessness, Parker drops her right glove while trying to smoke a cigarette. Facing the brutal cold, Dan knows they won't survive until the weekend. He decides his only option is to make a dangerous jump from the ski lift chair to the ground far below so he can go and find help. Dan jumps from the lift, landing on a hard-packed section of the ski run. The impact is devastating, causing compound fractures in both of his legs. Later, a single wolf approaches Dan and begins to growl. From the chairlift above, Parker throws her snowboard down to scare it, and the animal runs off. Seeing Dan is defenseless and stranded, Joe decides to try climbing up and shimmying along the ski lift cable to reach a chair closer to the ground. But after moving just a few feet, the sharp cable cuts his hands, forcing him to retreat back to his and Parker's chair. Exhausted and injured, Joe can only hold Parker tightly so she cannot see what is happening below. A full pack of wolves has now surrounded Dan and attacks him, leaving Parker and Joe to watch in horror. The next morning, Parker wakes up to find her bare right hand, missing its glove, completely stuck to the metal safety bar she gripped in her sleep. She has to tear it free, painfully losing skin. She also sees that her face has developed severe frostbite. A few hours later, Joe tries his cable plan again. He climbs up, traverses the sharp cable, and this time makes it to a chair 2 spots back. His hands are badly cut up, but he is able to safely climb down the ladder of a support pole to the ground. At that same moment, Parker's own ski lift chair begins to tilt and tip dangerously. It has come loose from the cable that holds it. Once on the ground, Joe is attacked by 2 wolves. He fights them off using a ski pole. He then grabs Parker's snowboard, jumps on it, and slides down the mountain to escape, with the wolves chasing close behind him. Another night passes with no sign of help or Joe. Parker realizes he must be dead. The next day, she tries to jump from her chair. As she moves, the bolt holding it finally fails. The chair plummets about 20 feet but is caught by a supporting cable. Parker then jumps the remaining safer distance to the ground, but the falling lift chair crashes onto her ankle, injuring her. She begins a painful journey down the mountain, alternating between sliding and crawling. She stops when she sees a long streak of blood in the snow. A wolf approaches her, looks her over, and then returns to its pack nearby, who are feeding on what's left of Joe. Completely traumatized, Parker forces herself the rest of the way down to a road. Eventually, a car stops, and a man named Peter Milhouse comes to her rescue. As he drives, he calls the hospital to report he found an injured girl near the closed ski resort.
Thanks for watching. To catch all the latest from us, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified as soon as a new video drops. We'll see you in the next one.